of these proclamations will be made at 3, and then the concert starts at 4 and leads on to however long it takes to celebrate these folks. And so there'll be a barbecue, there'll be lots of fun, lots of activities, and for the listening public, I greatly encourage you to participate in this day of celebrating our emergency responders. One last item of business, and that is, as stated in the summary of the agenda, recognition of each of the 178 agencies and local leadership. That leads me to a second proclamation, which is somewhat of a surprise, I believe, to this person. But this is a proclamation of the Mendocino County Board of Supervisors recognizing Fire Chief Mark Romero for his over 30 years of service to the California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection. Whereas throughout his career, Chief Romero has combined professionalism and dedicated performance with a genuine concern of personal welfare of his employees, and has been a leader and a role model to those who have served with him. And whereas his superior administrative and operational effectiveness was complemented with his calm demeanor that prevailed during both routine assignments and critical emergency situations. And whereas Chief Romero began his career in July of 1974 as a seasonal firefighter in San Luis Obispo County, taking a permanent assignment as a fire control aide in 1979 in the Mendocino unit. He then served as a seasonal fire apparatus engineer in 1980, and then as a firefighter 2 in Sonoma Ranger Unit in 1981. Actually, he worked for me during that period. And after serving as a permanent FAE in both Tulare and the Tuolumne Calaveras units from 1982 until 1984, he served as a fire captain in the Chamberlain Creek Conservation Camp, and then as a fire captain in the Emergency Command Center and the unit headquarters station from 1985 until 1992. He then moved to battalion chief in 1992 and to assistant chief Northern Operations, the Emergency Command Center chief in 1997, and then to administrative division chief in the Shasta Trinity unit in July 2000. His professional devotion was evidenced by receiving the Director's Annual Recognition Program 2001 Superior Accomplishment Award. And whereas on June 21st, 2008, after a reconnaissance flight of the largest lightning-caused wildfire situation experienced by Mendocino County in decades, Chief Romero realized his CAL FIRE legacy might become the unit chief that burned up Mendocino County. Whereas under his leadership and guidance, his CAL FIRE legacy fears were soon allayed, and when on July 17, 2008, the 129 fires that had consumed 53,300 acres were contained. And whereas Chief Romero has truly earned his retirement and will undoubtedly be a great loss to the California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection to see such a great man step down. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Supervisors of Mendocino County recognizes and honors Chief Mark Romero for his years of service to his profession and his community, and expresses their heartfelt appreciation for his dedication and commitment to the citizens of Mendocino County. And as chair and as protocol, I cannot make this motion, so I would encourage someone to do that. Supervisor Delbar.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I was actually hoping you would pass the gavel to make that motion, and I'd be happy to second it.
Okay. So I will pass the gavel in an effort to make the motion as stated.
And I'll be happy to
second. And there is a second, Supervisor.
Motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
All those. Carried unanimous. Thank you.
I suspect there's a mole in my organization. Actually, God, this almost got me speechless. You know, I had a lot of fine supervisors throughout my career and a lot of mentoring early on. And as Jim mentioned, I not only worked with Jim, but there's kind of a gang in the back of the room there that were some of my early supervisors. And we had a lot of favorite sayings for those two with the short haircuts there, as well as a few others back there. But I really learned a lot early in my career working for folks, particularly in this unit, and it was really it was a great reward at the end of my career to come back here and serve here the last few years. So it's been great. And anyway, thank you, folks. I appreciate the recognition.
Mark, I was watching when you and Jim were out there. Was there a period of time with Cal Fire, California Department of Forestry, then where they only hired short people?
There was a period of time when this department was the only fire department that hired short people.
Thank you, Chief.
Tom, we'll deliver these to your office.
Any additional from the board on this item?